fix my eyes on you, on you.
They won a Grammy Award and a Dove Award this year. I'm here with Joel Smallbone of For King and Country.
Run wild, live free, and love strong, you and me.
First of all, congratulations on your 2 years and 4-month anniversary.
Look at you. Well, it's actually, to be precise, it's 2 years, 4 months, and 3 days.
Let's start talking about Priceless, the movie.
I see you dressed in white, every wrong made right. I see you rose in bloom at the sight of you, oh so priceless.
What can we expect from the movie?
We had a great assembly of talent, ensemble of talent come together on both ends of the camera, the crew as well as the actors. We had people from Anchorman, part of the film, people from a young lady from The Duff that was a big hit here in America that just came out. We had a guy who played the villain, is in a new superhero film that there's a lot of buzz about in Los Angeles called Suicide Squad that comes out next year, and they just filmed that. And so just some great actors. I acted in it as well, so it was really good for me to be alongside such really good, talented actors. And then we had the producer. You remember the Spartan film 300?
Of course,
Yeah,
with the abs.
Yep. So yes, that's right. Those abs. The producer of 300 worked with us on this film. Steve Barnett is his name, and he is just he's been fantastic. And so we'll let you determine ultimately whether or not, when it comes out, whether or not it's a good film. But I got to tell you, on our end, from a heart perspective, from an art perspective, from a sort of storytelling perspective, we're really excited. And the way it correlates with the music as well, it doesn't feel like two different things. It feels like it sort of complements each other.
And the Dove Award goes to... Come on, girl.
Run wild, live free, love strong by For King and
Country!
When you guys won the Dove Award a month ago, you guys didn't name family, friends, God, but you told a story.
Mm-hmm.
A wonderful one about a girl that was addicted to meth, and she got free. Can you tell me about that girl?
We were in California a few days before the awards, and we were just playing a theater up there. It was a lovely show, and one of the our merchandise guy by the name of Taylor, who's he's been a longtime friend. He came up to us after the show and he said, "Man, I sat down with this lady and she shared this story. She was actually helping out." And so he shared it with us. And man, both Luke and I were just really impacted. And as the story goes, this woman had not only been a meth addict, but she was on the streets. And according to her, she heard a song. She heard a song called "No Turning Back," and it was a paradigm shift for her. It was that moment. The song, it was on our last album. The song opens up with saying, "I used to be a beggar, down on calloused knees."
Till I got an invitation into the courts of the king.
It's a song of liberty, and of release. And what was amazing was that was the switch for her. She basically stopped cold turkey. 10 months later, she's not touched it since. She's got 2 jobs now. She's off the streets, and she's at this show. And I think you sit there and you go, man, that's the beauty of music with a capital M. That's the beauty of art, is that it can really impact people. It can impact culture, and that's what I love about what you're a part of across the ocean. What we're attempting to be a part of here is that, yes, we want to be entertaining. Yes, we want to be inspirational, but we also want people to walk out feeling like, man, let's go on and fight the good fight of life, you know?
Calling all the messengers, calling all the messengers, calling all the messengers.
The Grammy Awards song. What do you guys have with hip hop? Because you won a Grammy for that song, but you also did Run Wild, Live Free. You guys don't do hip hop, but you got 2 records and a Grammy Award winning song with the #1 gospel rapper in the whole wide world. What's your relationship with hip hop?
Well, I think Luke and I have a great admiration for hip hop. I don't think you would want us to try to write a hip hop song per se, but you know, one of the things I really love, I've been listening to a bit of hip hop even just recently. One of the things I love about hip hop in general is how more recently it's really moved into embracing the merge of kind of alternative and pop into hip hop, you know? And I think that's great. I just think that the melodic side of it and this whole spoken word thing and rap mixed with melody is really quite stunning. So Reach Records, which Lecrae is on, Andy Mineo is on, etc., they've been long time kind of friends of ours and supporters, and they came to us and when Lecrae was working on his record, and they said, hey, do you have any kind of songs that could work for this, that could work for this album? And so Luke and I, we were out in Los Angeles probably a year prior to this conversation that we were having with this record executive, and we had written a song called Messengers, and the verses were kind of different. They were like this Peter Gabriel, it was slower, but I sent him that song. I said, hey, what do you think? Here's a song that we wrote in LA with a few friends called Messengers, what do you think? And he was just, Lecrae heard it, and they were like, man, this is great. So next thing you know, like, we sent him that rough, we sent him all the multi-tracks, and basically the next thing we heard was like a mixed mastered version of Lecrae's Messengers. And it was like the easiest song we'd ever written right there. And then with Run Wild with Andy Mineo, we featured on his first album. And then so Run Wild was kind of a return the favor, like, hey, we featured on your record, come on. So he came out on the road with us. He came out on the road with us for 2 days and sat in the back lounge of the tour bus. And Run Wild is one of the songs that, if I could pick a favorite, it's one of the songs that I'm most proud of.
Run wild, run wild, run wild. We're made to
run, Forrest. All depends with direction. Some people run from fear, some from their own reflection. Some people run their mouth, some people run their house, ruling with the heart of a tyrant. Some people run their block, blood shots with the fofo firing. That's the
I heard you say during a concert that Fix My Eyes is like the anthem, the song for you guys.
fix my eyes on you.
Can you explain that?
Well, part of the reason I say that is because of when Fix My Eyes was born. If you could picture it, it was the end of 2012. We just released our first album. Not too far prior to that, and we found ourselves in a really precarious spot. We toured really hard that year, and it was towards the end of the year, and Luke was just starting to become pretty ill with a digestive disorder that he had to come off the road. He dropped down about 125 pounds. He was bedridden, and Mariah and I weren't married. We were dating at the time, and we were walking through some pretty precarious moments in our dating relationship. And so you got traveling, you got Luke being ill, you got me walking through these life questions, and then we found ourselves in a room writing a song, you know. And And so I think in that moment, we asked ourselves, we weren't trying to write a single, we weren't trying to write a hit, none of that stuff. We were just in a room being very honest as young men, writing about what was going on and asking ourselves, who are we as musicians and as men? Why are we doing this? What are we trying to say? And we came up with a list, and that list was to love like we're not scared, to give when it's not fair, live life for another, and so on. And obviously that list became a chorus, and I think the reason I say it's an anthem is because of when it was written, but also because I feel like if day in and day out, I personally, and I get up there and sing that song every night, if I could practice what we preach, so to speak, that message, then if we could all practice it, then I think you would see a revolution,
Joe, I really loved talking to you. Thank you very much. I'm humbled because we really love you guys over here, and thank you for being this honest, this transparent. It was a great interview. Thank you for taking the time for us here at Gtime TV in the Netherlands. God bless you with everything you do, and bless Luke and your wife Mariah. Thank you.
Live free, love strong, you and me.